This African-American man is risking death by sneaking on board a Confederate warship alone. He's planning to do what nobody in history has ever done before. He's 23 years old, has been enslaved his entire life, and dreamed of escaping slavery since the day he was born. He's studied the landscape around him, passed messages between enslaved families, and coordinated everything. It's 3 a.m., and his plan is starting. The warship's officers are inside sleeping, and exactly as planned, the man finds the captain of the ship has left his straw hat sitting outside on the bridge. He picks it up and puts it on. He sneaks on board and raises the Confederate flag on the ship's mast so onlooking guards wouldn't suspect a thing. He starts the engine and begins doing his best to steer the ship. Past the harbor 7 miles away from him are warships belonging to the Union, the side fighting against slavery. If he reaches those ships, he will be free. But he doesn't head that direction. Instead, the man steers toward a second dock, and in the dark, people start climbing aboard. Other enslaved people and their families he coordinated with. His own wife and kids, 16 people in total. He sends every single one of them below the deck, knowing if any of them are seen, they will die. Every person on board this ship has agreed on one thing: if they get caught by guards, they don't surrender. They sink the ship themselves and voluntarily drown. Getting caught means being sent back into slavery, and every person on this ship would rather die. The man gets back on deck and starts steering toward the Union, but between him and open water sit 4 Confederate military gates. Every ship that passes has to blow a whistle signal to the gate. The whistle works like a password. If you whistle correctly, the gates open and you pass. If you whistle wrong, the cannons aimed at the water open fire on the ship. The man approaches the first fort and blows the whistle. The soldiers hear the correct code and see the Confederate flag flying, but they're not convinced. They look closer. Behind the flag, they see a silhouette of the man standing at the wheel. His arms are folded in the exact pose the real captain always stands in. And in the dark, from that distance, the silhouette is identical. They wave him through. The man repeats this 3 more times and finally reaches open water. But there's one more problem. The Union warships ahead don't know who's on board. All they see is an enemy warship racing straight at them in the dark. The soldiers raise their guns and wait for the signal to fire. But the man's wife runs out from below the deck and tears down the Confederate flag. She pulls out a white bed sheet she brought from home and raises the sheet. White means surrender. It tells the Union the ship is not attacking. The Union holds fire, but the danger is not over. Soldiers board the ship, ready to examine, and standing on the deck is a 23-year-old man in a stolen straw hat. Around him are 16 men, women, and children. The man hands the Union the Confederacy's own warship, their cannons, their ammunition, and a book containing every enemy code and signal in the harbor the Union can use to fight the Confederates. The Union announces every person on this ship is now free. Not one of them will ever be somebody's property again.